Hey guys, it's Chris here with Off-Road Farm, and today we're finally going to put this Dana 60 axle back together. Now if you want to see how we took it apart, you can check right up here. I have a whole video on disassembly and also on how you put your carrier and your pinion back in. But today, let's finish putting the rest of this axle back together so we can get it back underneath the truck.
First thing we need to do is to finish disassembling this axle. The only thing we haven't done yet is the bottom kingpin races. To remove these races, we have to knock them out using the dust cap. Do not try to replace these races unless you have new dust caps, because you will destroy the dust caps in the process. I start out by using a bigger piece of rod. If you try to use a small punch, you'll probably just punch a hole in the dust cap, and then that hole is just going to go bigger and bigger, and you're going to have a hard time getting it out. So start out with something big. Once you finally start to get the race to move and you have enough room, then switch over to a smaller punch where you can get over the actual race itself and you can finally knock it out.
So there's that dust cap. So that's why you got to try to hit around the edge. You can tell I inverted it and I actually cut through it just a little bit right there. That's why you got to work all the way around that edge.
Now we just need to clean up any old silicone or RTV left behind. If you can, go ahead and throw your new races in the freezer, and while those are cooling down, go ahead and put some silicone or RTV around the sealing edge of your new dust cap. Now remember, the dome on the dust cap goes up when it's in your axle in its normal orientation. To install these new races, I had to roll it over so the dust cap will go and dome down. Once you get all your RTV in place, just go ahead and drop it in, and then just do a quick check if you got any RTV on the bore. Make sure you clean it out, and now we're ready to install our new race. Grab your race out of the freezer, and now we're ready to install it. Now I did put a very light coating of grease around the outside edge of this race because it was really humid the day I was doing this, just to prevent any condensation buildup. We go ahead and we stick it in there and we start to knock it in place. If you don't have a driver the right size to fit this race, just use your old race. Just go ahead and flip it over and you can beat on that side, and you don't have to worry about messing up the face of your new race. Take your time when you're getting this started. You want to get it started nice and straight. There's a couple times here where it got just a little crooked, so just kind of knock on one side that's a little high, and then once you get it straight, it'll go in real easy. Before we insert this bearing, we need to make sure it's well packed with grease. Now you can pack these by hand, or you can use a bearing packer like I am here. I really like this handy packer that I got off of Amazon. It's a little less messy, but I think it's a lot quicker than trying to pack these bearings by hand. I'll post an affiliate link in the description down below. And just for a little tip on using this handy packer, while you're pressing down on it, just kind of rock it around, and that helps to push that grease up in there a little bit better.
Now we're ready. We'll just drop our bearing in there and let's get our seal. So we're going to take our seal. We're just going to put a little bit of a real light thin coating of silicone right around the edge, and real light. So you can see it there, just a real light coating. We don't want it too thick. Now I've got a 2 1/16 socket that fits over this thing perfect. You might not have one. You can just try to use a piece of pipe, maybe if you can find one about right. The last thing I'm going to do, there's a bunch of extra grease from where we packed it on the inside. I'm just going to take a little bit of that and rub on that seal. Part of my axle rebuild is I'm going to install these outer axle seals. So on a Dana 60, the only seals you have are the ones right beside the chunk. It doesn't have any outer axle seals. And that's why my axle tubes were full of gunk, and whenever I pressure washed it, I actually got a bunch of grime and grit in my bearings. That's why I had to re-bearing everything. So I'm going to try these outer axle seals and see how they work. I'm in the southeast. I know there's going to be mud. I know there's going to be water. So I'm going to try to go ahead and seal up that tube on the outside and on the inside. Just have 2 seals for all that stuff to get through and work a little bit better.
Before we install these new outer axle seals, we're going to pack that inside cavity full of grease. Now we're just going to run a bead of high temperature RTV just on the inside of both of the lips of the seal.
All right, now let's put this in the axle tube. These are going to be a pretty tight fit.
Start out by just pressing these new seals in by hand. It's going to be messy, but you should be able to get it at least halfway in before you have to switch over and start using a driver.
The directions said to lightly tap it, but not drive it. So I don't know exactly what that means. So we're just going to tap real easy.
One tip is whenever you select your driver, go with a smaller driver than you think you need. That way you don't accidentally cut the lip of that seal. Now that we have our seal installed, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our axle and we're going to install it. We're going to make sure we get it fully seated all the way. And we're just going to make sure that we have some clearance between the seal and the yoke of that U-joint to make sure that it's not going to rub any.
So that's good. I felt it go all the way and hit bottom, and we're not hitting that seal. Before we put our knuckle on, we're going to go ahead and put our studs. Now this is the passenger side knuckle. This is the side that the new steering arm will go on since we're doing crossover steering. So all this kit came from Offroaddesign, and you can include the stud kit or you cannot. These are high strength ARP studs. Here they are here. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a long side and a short side. The short side is what goes down into the knuckle, and they recommend just hand tight. They do also recommend some locking compound. So I'm going to use some Loctite Red, and we're going to get these installed.
These studs only need to be hand tight, so there's no need to go too crazy with them. Just go ahead and get them down, get them pretty snug, and then I just use a pair of vice grips to grab the center of that stud, and then I can back that nut off. Now also keep in mind, clean up any Loctite that comes out of the threads so we have a nice clean mating surface.
All right, so we're just gonna slide our knuckle on. We're gonna put the top on first, and then slide the bottom over. And we're just gonna let it sit right there, and let's go prep our bottom cap. So the first thing I'm gonna do is gonna take a little bit of grease. I'm gonna put it on the pin. What I'm really worried about is what's gonna go over that seal. Now we're gonna take our black RTV. We're gonna put a little bit around the base. Now we're just gonna smooth it out, smear it around. All right, if you look at this bottom cap, you can tell it's a little bit different. There's a recess here. It only goes on one way. That goes towards the outside. Just take your time. It'll finally go. Now we're just going to install our 4 bolts. That bolt doesn't feel right, so we're going to go get another one. This hole doesn't feel quite right, so I'm just going to chase these threads with a tap. See if that helps. Oh, that feels much better. Alright, so now that I've got them all started, I know this kind of seems backwards, but now I'm going to take them out one at a time. Put just a little bit of red Loctite on them. The reason I didn't put Loctite on first was just in case I ran into that exact problem. I wanted to make sure everything lined up first. Now we're going to torque them. The torque specs call for 70 to 90, so we're going to shoot for 80. If you get the Kingpin rebuild kit from Offroaddesign, it will come with a new seal for the top. Now, there's 2 different styles of seals, so pay attention to which one comes out. We don't want to put these on until we're to this point. If we try to put this seal down on there and set the knuckle over that, there's a good chance we're probably just going to pinch that seal. So instead, we're going to put it on now. Just going to very easily just push it down there. I did lube that up with just a little bit of grease. You may have to kind of move your knuckle around a little bit. Now we're going to take our new bushings. I had to get new bushings. The driver's side on mine was cracked and in a couple pieces. Just going to lube up the grooves inside. Put a little bit around the outside. Now this bushing will only go in one way. There's a groove in your knuckle and a ridge on the bushing. Well, it'll only ride in that one spot. Now we can take our spring retainer and our spring, and now let's grab our top cap. So just like with our bottom cap, we just put some RTV on it, spread it around. We'll just get these bolts started. You will have to press down on this some. We're just going to take our time and slowly get it all the way down.
Just make sure that whenever you're tightening these bolts that you work all the way around that top cap so you can pull it down evenly.
Alright, so now I've got everything down. Before I torque it, I'm going to take them out one at a time, Loctite. So now it's time to torque it down. The torque specs are exactly the same, 70 to 90, so we're going to shoot for 80. That feels good. It's definitely got some preload on it, but it still moves back and forth nice and smooth. So the passenger side is still the same at this point as the driver's side. We're just going to put our seal in real gently. We're going to put in our pre-greased bushing. Same thing. It'll only go in one way. Now let's go get the high steer arm. Alright, so now we're ready to put our high steer arm. I've already got our RTV on the bottom. Our spring retainer are in place over our bushing. Now, if you go with this high steer kit from Offroaddesign and you get the studs, it also comes with tapered nuts. It does have a specific torque sequence to it. You're supposed to lube the threads and the tapered seat with motor oil. I'm just using ATF. Now we're going to tighten these down to 110 foot-pounds. Loosen them and retighten them. We're going to do that 3 to 5 times, and then on the final time we'll torque it down to 110 foot-pounds and we'll be done. Now you will have to push down, kind of like the other cap, just a little bit to get these tapered nuts started.
Just like the other top cap, we're just going to take our time and we're going to work our way evenly around this new high steer arm to pull it down.
Alright, so we finally hit bottom, so now let's go grab the torque wrench. I've got it strapped down so I can try to torque it down. Got my torque wrench set at 110. So that's one. So now we're just going to loosen these up and retighten them 3 to 5 times, and then on the final time we'll be done with it.
Before we go ahead and put our axles back in, I want to go ahead and start prepping this spindle. So since I got it off, now's a good time to replace this inner spindle bearing and clean these up. Because I'm sure if you saw my hubs, a lot of the grease in there was pretty dirty. So there's the inner bearing spindle. The proper way to pull this is probably going to be with a slide hammer with some internal puller fingers. I don't have one. Instead, we're just going to put it in the vise, and we're just going to try to use a big punch. Just going to go slow and take our time. As you drop it down, you can feel it hit the groove and hit the top of that bearing.
Just make sure that you work all the way around that bearing. It should come out pretty easy. It's not in there very tight.
So there's that old bearing out. Now we're going to take this spindle over to the parts washer, try to clean up a lot of that old grease. So we're back from the parts washer. We got everything cleaned up pretty good. Now we're just going to try to clean off some of these diesel residue. If you order this new bearing kit from Offroaddesign like I did, it'll come with 2 new seals and your new spindle bearing. So we're just going to take some grease. I'm going to pack the inside of this bearing. So I've got it just laying on a shop rag here just to protect those threads. I went ahead and I picked a driver that's a little bit bigger than my bearing so I can get it started. Try to get it started nice and straight. Now that I've got it almost flush, I'm going to change out to a smaller driver.
So that's it for part 1 of reassembling this Dana 60 axle. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I broke this video up into 2 parts just because it was getting really long. It was over 30 minutes. But what I want to know is, what do you guys want to see in the future? Would you rather me just leave it one long video, or would you prefer it to be cut up into 2 or more parts based on how long it is? So do me a favor, just leave a comment down below and let me know how you would like some of these longer videos in the future. Thanks everybody for watching.